What's wrong with it? Oh, there we go. Is it good?
Ladies, yeah, we good. Ladies and gentlemen, we here, we here. I go by the name of JFK.
I go by the name James Jackson.
Yeah, we just about to get to it. Let's get to it for sure. You know how we do it.
They really credit you with bringing out the government part of the corruption.
Well, we expect our criminals to commit crimes. That's what criminals do. We don't expect that from our law enforcement.
Never visit Massachusetts based on this case?
Exactly, because you would go there as a visitor and leave as a felon or something.
After you went to bed between the hours of 1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.?
Yes.
Who did you call?
I inadvertently called Brian Higgins.
You say you inadvertently called him at 2:22 in the morning.
Yes.
How did you inadvertently call him?
Well, I don't know
because it was inadvertent.
Isn't it true that at the other hearing you indicated that at or around the 2:22 time frame, you and your wife were in bed together in an intimate situation?
Yes, around that time.
Nasty.
Yeah, we know what really happened, though, right, James? Yeah.
One
He
that
didn't see
got
none of
away.
this. He didn't see this. We know what really happened. I think it kind of went something like this. Yeah. R.I.P. John O'Keefe. Man. R.I.P. John O'Keefe. John O'Keefe. What were they really doing, James? What were they doing all night long? What were they really doing, James?
It was plotting. It was plotting. Scheming.
They was up. They were cleaning that house, weren't they? But he was
Oh,
making
yeah,
good
they were.
love to Nicole, to his boo, wasn't he?
Please don't go, Nicole.
Please. It's a real funky bunch. Ever since that my buddy Big Bad Brian A got on the Good Cop show with Donnie Wahlberg, he thinks he's a superstar. No, James?
I would say so. I mean, you know what that fame does? That fame can either go one way or the other. But
Fame is a monster. You like this hat, James? Gangsta. I got it from DJ
Dude.
Premier himself,
special gifts we get.
Special gifts.
That's something. Wow, DJ Premier handed it to you, huh?
Oh yeah, good old Primo. Shout out Primo. And first and foremost, I just want to say, sending all the prayers
Yes.
to Florida, Tampa, wherever you're at in Florida right now. that's getting hit with this hurricane. If you're in the chat right now, James Jackson, okay. If you're in
What
the chat,
happened?
I don't
Oh,
know, technical difficulty, but we're all right. We're still rocking on. If you're in Florida right now in shelter and you're watching this stream, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and prayers to you. And hopefully this thing just swirls around, goes back out, back out to sea, and it's not that bad. But prayers for real. What's up, James? We missed you the last live. How you been? How you doing? What's going on? What's the status on you, buddy?
same basically. Right now, I don't know if you can tell, I got one leg up. It's just I don't think it's gonna get any better, Jay, to be honest with you. But it's just more or less being able to deal with the pain, navigate through the struggle.
Yes, I can dig it, my brother. I can dig it. Yeah, Big Sean on the golf. Andrea, for sure. Sean.
Praise to Sean, praise to all of them. I mean, I've seen a few people say they're staying there, and it's like, I see them with kids, and it's heartbreaking, just to think that something so severe could happen, and families Florida could be wiped out and into the ocean to never be seen again. It's crazy.
Well, that's extreme.
Yeah, it's a little extreme,
That's extreme, buddy. I mean,
but
we want it to lose its luster, man. And they say it's gonna hit. When's it supposed to hit? It's supposed to hit tonight or early tomorrow morning, right? Like they're supposed to get the eye of the storm then. Is that what's going on, people?
I think so. If anyone in the chat could verify that.
I've been watching. It's been different things,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's scary. It's definitely scary. The tornadoes, the weather, it just makes you think like, this is a perfect example. Karen Reed or any of us that's fighting it hit the west coast of Florida.
I think my aunt said it went to a number 2. Said it went down to a number 2. So
that's a lot better.
Yeah, and she lives up. She's out there, so she's in Sarasota.
Oh, okay. So if that's what it is,
that could be
in
a
Orlando, the eye hit Siesta Key. Kelly said, I hate the cold, but living in the shy Midwest does have its aspects where, I mean, for sure, I agree. The eye won't hit for a few more hours. Thank you, Sheila. Was it Sheka Khan? Sheila? What's going on? Sheila.
Sheka.
What was I saying, James?
About so to segue off of, anything could happen.
Yeah, anything could. Yeah, you're just thinking that if you got a case, you're fighting a case, right? And
or anybody could be, but yeah.
You're fighting a case, and then a hurricane hits, and it's going to be catastrophe. It's going to be you're going to lose everything, and in the process of it, you spent your last 6 months of your life fighting a court case, stressed out, depressed, and then
all the money,
and then this happens, and this is what's going on. You just never know. It's like that's how petty the court system is. They're chasing duckies around just for a docket number. And it's like, can we agree that it's all fuckery? At the end of the day, it's been fuckery.
Yeah.
This case been fuckery from the jump, from the rip, from the start. Can we agree on that, James?
Absolutely. I mean, we agree on that before this case, that there's really no justice in even family probate either. It's just like you said, you're a docket number to them. It's just another docket number. It's another file, another case that if you go there and ask for your docket number, it's like that library with all the books. I forget if anyone knows the name of that library, but it's got like a million docket numbers.
The J.F.K. library? That's a huge library.
Probably.
In Amherst.
But it's just so many dockets, and that's what it comes down to.
Well, if you had one word to describe this Karen Reed case, just one word, all we need is one. Just one word to describe.
Georgette.
Just to describe this Karen Reed case, we need one word to describe it. This is your chat, people. Let's go. Phew, insanity, scapegoat. I mean, it just goes on, it goes on. So we can all agree it's fuckery at the end of the day. And with that being said, I go by the name of JFK.
I go by the name of James Jackson.
Fuckery Donuts is now
It's
open.
now open.
Yes, we're open. And we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to get into a little bit of Matty M. He was on the backup, no, James? What do you think about Matty M?
He's a follower for sure. Matty M. And I think he feels like he has to impress whoever is the guy that's more popular. The guy the guy that's got more. The guy who's been on Boston's Finest. The guy
Big Bad Brian A.
Yep. So
Indeed.
Matty's just on the backup.
Yeah, he is, and he was on the backup in the vehicle. He was in the car with Jen McCabe on the way to 34 Fairview. And what people got to understand, when he was on the way there, John O'Keefe texted Jen McCabe. He didn't call her, he texted her. Jen McCabe took it amongst herself to call John when all he did was send a text, James. Just sent a text. What's the address? He got muscle memory, no? So let's just say I'm at the dispatch and you're the cop in the police car.
Come in, Jake.
Control to 7. Yeah,
Go ahead, 7. Go ahead, 7.
Can you go to 34 Fairview and for a domestic call?
On my way.
That's it, right? He's got muscle memory, right?
On my way.
So he's looking for the address. All he did was send a text. Where's the address? I'm coming through. That phone call, she called him. Now keep in mind, Matty M was on the backup, James. He was in the car. He was driving. It was on the Bluetooth, right, James?
Right. What was he saying to her after the phone call? What was he coaching her through the phone call?
Well, he was talking. He was talking with them.
Right. But
he was in the conversation. This is what he said on the stand. So the thing is, we all know what happened at 11:58 at the bar, right? 11:58 at the bar. He's throwing his hands up. Everybody's fight. We're gonna go through that footage, and we're gonna take a deep dive into that footage tonight. That footage, if you don't really watch it really closely, you can miss a lot. Sometimes it's just the details. It's just an adjective. It's a verb. It's certain things that you see, a description, something that you see that you don't, we're going to make sure you see it all tonight. So, strap in for that. But like I said, Matty M was on the backup. He was in the car with JM. JM is the one that called John O back, and they talked for 44 seconds. I mean, all he did was text her directions. Control to 7. Yeah, 34 Fairview over. On my way. That's it. He didn't want it. 44 seconds. And then John O called her back and talked for 36 seconds. Then at 12:29, there was an 8-second phone call that Jen McCabe called John O. And John O answered that phone call. But she says he never answered. And that's right around the time that Karen must have left and got to 1 Meadows Ave, 12:36. And that's when he either went in the house or something popped off in front of the house. I mean, we just don't know. I would assume that he went in the house based on, I would think Karen would have seen something going on, and it would have been in the voicemails, like, what's going on? How did, whatever. But she didn't mention anything, or she could have drove off and they pulled up within 30 seconds. We don't know. So
they could have also said, see if he has, they said this. See, make sure see where his phone is. That 8-second phone call, they called it was in his pocket, grabbed it
Nah,
out.
I don't know, man, about that. You know, I think at that time, you know, they got him on, like I said, the Apple data, James. They got him going down the stairs at that time. So, you know, I would like to think, like I said, if it wasn't for the Apple data and if it wasn't for the voicemails of Karen Reed, I would think it could have went down in front of the house on site, and he could have bashed his head off that plow because they mention that plow a lot. And you got to think, you know, in every script, in every lie, there is some truth to it. You know, in the banter, there's some truth to it, right? So I would think that, but I would think that if she pulled up and seen Higgins there, I think she would have said something, and all the messages and all the messages that she left him, she never mentioned that. And you know, and then the Apple data, him going down the stairs. So that's where I would say that it definitely went down in the basement, but that doesn't mean that it didn't start outside where they said just come downstairs. Like you said, it was on site, but they were gentlemen. They're all police. They don't want no
Neighbors to come or make, you know, have a call go out over the radio.
anything, you know,
Anything, yeah.
anything. So, but you know that footage, it gets crazy. I want to show you some stuff in that footage, man, that you might have not seen. We'll get into that real quick. Check this out. This is pretty crazy when you really look at it, because now you got to ask yourself this question, and I'm going to ask the chat this question also. Who exactly, who's who in all this? Um, so in this footage right here, you have circled right now. You have Chris A. He's talking to. Um, can you see my
Higgins.
arrow? Can you see my arrow? Does my arrow show up? Does that arrow show up on the screen?
I can't see it. I'm trying to. Well,
I
cut.
don't know.
No,
I
I
don't.
see the circle.
Now I'm saying if the arrow. We got a super chat
Yeah, I
here.
know.
When will John O'Keefe get justice? Tell me, please. Well, that's what we're working on. That's why we're staying hard on the case and we're staying focused on all these people, because we know that Matty M was on the backup, and we know that big bad Brian A thinks he's a new kid on the block, and they're a funky bunch. So if we got to get creative and hit you in all directions with Beetlejuice, Hank Brennan, and get everybody alerted and say what these guys talking about. Who is this guy James Jackson and JFK? What are they talking about? We're talking about justice. We're talking about what really happened. So if we got to draw you in creative ways, that's what we're going to do here on the JFK channel. We're going to do our best to entertain you, but bring the truth at the same time.
Well,
No arrow, red circle, no arrow. Thank you, everybody. So there's a red circle, no arrow. So in that red circle, right now, you see Chris A talking to
Brian Higgins.
Brian Higgins. Now keep watching. Now look all the way up to the back of the bar. Right next to John O'Keefe, there's a woman. Then you see Jen McCabe. Is she talking to Jen McCabe? Is the one with the fur hoodie on?
She's
Right?
sitting down, right?
She's standing up. Well, she's sitting down, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's got the fur hoodie on, and who's in front of her? That's Karen Reed
That's
in front of her,
Karen
right?
in front of her, yeah.
All right, so who's the girl sitting right next to John O'Keefe at the bar? John O'Keefe's at the bar. Do you see the girl at 11:57? Yeah. Who's the girl? Is that Nicole? No, we got the chat going. The chat knows what's going on. Chat, I need your help, people. Is that Nicole? Who is this female? I don't know who it is. It has to be Nicole, right? I'm thinking that it has to be Big Bad Brian A's wife.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Caitlin.
Taller. She's taller.
That's Caitlin. They're saying it's Caitlin.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like a young girl.
No, that's the Greek's wife. Okay, that's the Greek's wife.
The Greek's wife. What, his boy?
Yeah, the other couple that was there.
Okay.
Is everybody positive that's the Greek's wife standing next to John? Is everybody Albert's daughter?
Yeah.
Jen has okay, but now I want everybody to pay attention. Okay, so now we got in the circle, in the red circle, we have John O'Keefe, Chris Albert, and Big Bad Brian A all talking. Now we have at the bar, we have John O'Keefe. He's turning his head to grab a beer, right? We have either who they say that was the Greek's wife, fur coat. The fur coat is the Greek's wife, and she's talking to Karen Reed.
No, that's Jen McCabe talking to Karen Reed.
That's Jen McCabe, right? Talking to Karen Reed.
Yes.
All right, I'm just trying to read the chat at the same time, try to get my thought out. So bear with me, people. We got 142 people in the room. It's a lot of people. We're here tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. And if you're on the replay crew, we love you too. Cash App J.F.K. Show Off, Cash App James Amaral Jr. It's in the description. Check it out. Send a super comment, super chat, super comment. It's the business. I appreciate the replay crew. Peace.
Peace,
So,
replay. Oh, wait. I see. It looks like there's 3 women. So there's Jen McCabe, Karen, and then off to them. It looks like a
nice.
woman is watching them talk, right?
I think Karen is next to John, and the Greek's wife is with the girl with the fur. But who's in front of the Greek's wife? So if that's Karen next to John, all right. Now listen, if that is Karen next to John, now I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's Karen next to John, but if it is, all right, I want everybody to pay attention. Keep paying attention. Jen has the black coat. I mean, everybody's all over the place with this video, right? I mean, so, but look what happens, okay? And then we'll get more into it. All right, they're talking. Now keep your eye on the girl next to John O'Keefe. Keep your eye on the girl next to John O'Keefe at the top of the bar. Everybody, the chat, 154 people. Everybody keep your eye at the top of the bar. I know it's hard to see. It's a little blurry, right? But I need everybody. If you can zoom in on your YouTube, if you're on your phone, you probably can zoom in. I can't zoom in. Let me see. Yeah, I can't zoom in right now. But let me see something. I'm sorry, people. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that real quick. Yes. So let me get back to the comments. So keep your eye on the girl at the top of the bar with John O'Keefe. Now look, they're talking. Now look, Brian Higgins made the move, right? He's telling you to come on. Right? He's saying, come on, his head, he's twisted. Now everybody turns around and looks at him.
Yes.
Everybody. Jen
Everyone's head
McCabe
is
turned
turned.
around. Everybody turned around to hear what he had to say. Everybody.
Wow,
So
Jay.
everybody turned around to hear what he had to say. Right? Everybody turned around. Everybody. Everybody in
Everybody's
that
head.
bar.
Yo, bro, you nailed that.
Everybody turned around. But now look at this. Look. Now he's saying, come on.
Come on.
Right? Now keep your eye on the girl next to John O'Keefe. Now keep your eye on the girl with the fur coat, which I think is Jen McCabe. My mom is positive that's Jen McCabe, and I think that could be Karen Reed in front of her.
Yeah,
And
it is.
the girl that's walking, I don't know who that is. If that's the Greek wife or if that's Caitlin, I don't know.
I think it's the Greek wives because you see him with
look. So look at John O'Keefe. Right now, the problem is with this timestamp, people. Right, the problem with the timestamp, have you got a pointer? No, I don't have a pointer, Kate. This is StreamYard. It doesn't come with a pointer, and I'm not screen sharing. This is some footage that I have, but I just want you to pay attention. You got the circles. I got the circles. I did the best with the circles I could do. So you got John O'Keefe at the top. You got Jen McCabe, and if that's Karen Reed in front of her, they're looking. Everybody's watching what Higgins is doing. Everybody's turned looking at each other. Now the girl is underneath the timestamp. Now I want you to watch what Chris A does in the girl. Now the girl walks. You see the arrow from John O'Keefe to Higgins to Chris A. And then look at the hands of Brian A. Brian A threw his hands up too. You see Brian A's hand in the circle? He threw his hand up too.
Yep. He's saying, then come on, then. Let's go.
He's saying, come on. Brian A threw his fucking hands up too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah? You didn't say goodbye to nobody?
No.
What the fuck is this?
And when he called over, Jen McCabe put her hand up like this, like what do you like to
now
say?
Watch. Now watch. Keep watching, everybody. Now look. Right now, bam. He put his hand down. Now look it. Chris starts to walk away. Chris is underneath the 2022 and the timestamp right underneath the 2022. The arrow's pointed right at Chris. Chris to John right now. Okay. Underneath the 2022, that's Chris. I want you guys to pay attention under the timestamp. Now watch the girl come into the frame. You can't see her face. Now look, the girl, he's talking to the girl right now. He's talking to the girl. Chris A is talking to the girl who's right next to John O'Keefe. Now watch what happens. He's talking to the girl. He's saying whatever he's saying to the girl right now, right? Everybody's looking at him. She sits back down. If that's now look at the circle. Now, John O'Keefe is looking. Now he's fully turned around, John O'Keefe. He's looking right at Higgins. Look at that. He's staring right at Higgins. Higgins got his arm up. Like, what's the deal? What are we doing here?
Chris A.
Chris
telling
A.
the girl,
Chris A. is talking to the girl. Now
it's
watch
going to
what
be
happens.
okay, honey. It's
Now
going to be all
watch.
right.
He grabs his arm right here. Boom, right? We're going to take it back. Right? No, 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 stop. Watch everybody turn around again. Right? Now, look, there goes the girl. Right? He does the heel toe. Right? Now, that's got to be Karen Reed right there, right? Talking to...
Yeah, with her hair straight down.
He does the heel toe.
So Jen McCabe's looking at him do the heel toe. She's watching him do the heel toe. This has to be the center stage of what this next trial they have to speak on. It looks like exactly how we just broke this down with you talking about Brian Albert putting his hand up, because then he even had his hand up when he was in the doorway. It's just crazy, man. Watch when he goes to like either hand Brian. Watch Brian Albert.
Hold on a second. I'm just trying to see something because it's in two different things. Let's just rewind that. Sorry. One more time.
This guy don't want nothing to do with anything. He's
He
going
walked away.
around.
Everybody's looking. Everybody's looking.
Yep. See the hand up, the jester? Like, what's going... What are you talking about, guys? She knew. John O'Keefe knew what time it was. He wasn't even phased. Jen McCabe's whispering to Karen. Oh, Karen was laughing, too.
There goes that heel toe. There goes the heel toe. So that's Karen right in front of Jen McCabe, right?
Yep. You can tell it is, man.
So at that point, Karen knows exactly what's going on. At that point, Karen knows exactly what's going on.
All of them knew what was going on. My opinion, all of them had an idea.
So they all knew what was going on, right? So Maddie M knew what was going on. Now, keep in mind, we just watched the video. This is at 11:58. At 12:18, yeah, I think it was at 12:18. No, 12:14, I think it was. Yeah, so 15 minutes later, 12:14, he texts, "What's the address?" Jen McCabe called him. They talked for 44 seconds. Then he called her back, and they talked for 36 seconds. Maddie M was in the car with Jen McCabe. He was on the backup. Also, we already know that Karen obviously was in the car with John. She heard everything too. This is wild for the night. So let's just watch this right here. Watch what he says. Ah, boy. Boy, Maddie.
Right. So I'm going to ask you about the ride back to Robert's home in a bit, but right now I want to skip to when you got there. Okay. When you first got there, your wife parked your vehicle in the driveway, correct?
Yes.
Which side of the driveway did you park your vehicle in?
As I mentioned yesterday, I don't recall if it was immediately on the left, meaning the left towards the lawn, or if she was in the next spot over. She pulled in. I don't remember exactly if it was here or one spot over. But
What's
she
he
pulled
doing, man?
At least two. I don't recall if there was more than two.
So if there was at least two, those two would have been parked abutting the garage area. In other words, would they be? Let me rephrase. So there are two lanes in that driveway, correct?
My recollection is two lanes, but there is more space I know when we go over and we've gone over, there's more space to kind of park three cars
right?
To the right, correct.
Okay.
But we weren't to the right. We were either left or middle.
you were behind one vehicle, whichever lane you were in, or were you pulled right up to one of the garage entrances?
I don't recall if we pulled all the way in or not, but I don't remember.
So there were at least 2 vehicles in the driveway before you got there, correct?
In the driveway?
Yes.
Yes, there were cars in the driveway.
And when you parked in the driveway, fair to say that there was no black SUV at the Albert's home?
Are you referencing Karen's SUV? I don't know what color the Albert's cars were.
Oh, okay.
Are you referencing their SUV?
Any SUV.
Karen's SUV.
That was not at the home.
And that was not in the driveway, correct?
Karen's SUV was not in the driveway.
And it was not adjacent to the property or on the street anywhere that you could see?
Correct. It was not there.
All right, but you say that there was a Jeep in the street at that time, correct?
There was a Jeep parked in front of the end of the driveway in front of the mailbox.
And that Jeep belonged to Brian Higgins?
I found out it belonged to Brian Higgins. I didn't know it was his Jeep when I arrived.
And it had a plow on the front of it?
Of course.
Yes, it did.
It was parked adjacent to the Alberts property on Fairview, facing up the hill toward Chapman Street, correct?
Yes.
And at the time that you arrived, that was the only vehicle that was parked on Fairview Street adjacent to the Albert property, correct?
Yes.
And your testimony is that that Jeep remained parked in front of the Albert house, just to the left of the driveway as you face the house, until Brian Higgins finally left and drove it away at the end of the night, correct?
That's my recollection, was his Jeep was out in front of the mailbox.
With the court's permission, could we display Exhibit 66?
Okay.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Now, I don't know why they're so adamant about that Jeep, man. What do you think? Was that Jeep there? Like, what's going on with that Jeep?
Just trying to catch him up, I think, on the timing of who was
but he's
there
saying
first. The Jeep. You already know what I feel about that Jeep.
Yeah.
But he's saying he's trying to figure out if the Jeep was there, but he said the Jeep. Oh, I didn't know Higgins had a Jeep.
Right.
So he drove that Jeep from the waterfall there, obviously, right? Because then he went back to the police station. Higgins said he was one of the first to arrive because he did a sweep of the driveway with his plow. That's what Samantha said. Nicole Marie, the Jeep and the truck Nago was in were parked in the same spot. Yes, he plowed Albert's driveway. Higgins dropped his government-issued vehicle off, then got the chat. Higgins got the so Gigi said Higgins dropped his government-issued vehicle off, then got his Jeep. I'm wondering.
Nah, he did that after.
Why are they lying? Reset. Why are they lying about the Jeep? Question mark. That's what we're trying to figure out. The Jeep's been brought up a lot in this case, so.
But why they want that? I think that they wanted that Jeep there because it would block everything or something. I don't know why they keep talking about that Jeep, because the Jeep wasn't there, obviously. Because Karen pulled up, and that means she would have to pull up in front of the Jeep. It don't even make any sense. You know what I mean? Because Nagel said that the Jeep wasn't there. Nagel said when he pulled up, it was just Karen's truck there, and that was at 12. What was that? 12:26 or something like that.
Yeah, with the dome light on. He said he
pulled up to pick up his sister. I think it was like 12:20 something, 12:23.
Yep.
And the
Did
truck
he?
was never there. And the truck was never there. So what's he
No.
talking about? Why is he saying the truck was there? That's a lie right there.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know why they keep saying that, but then you got to think: is there any truth to that? Like, why does he keep mentioning this truck? Like, is he trying to give you a clue of what happened? I mean, like, what's going on there? It's real
Shit.
weird, real fishy.
Weird. It's real suspicious. Is that well, like I,
JFK, let's refocus. Jen was driving the car. She didn't text John back. Maddie took her phone and responded. Well, Patty, that's possible, right? I mean, I'm
yeah,
trying to find that he did testify.
that
Matt
he took her
testified.
phone.
No, he didn't. He didn't
Oh,
testify.
I was gonna say
They're saying that, that's possibly what could have happened. I mean, it's true.
yeah,
It's true that could have happened, but it was on the Bluetooth. It came to the Bluetooth, so they were both talking.
right.
So the point is, when Maddie going on the stand, he's saying that there was no fight, everything was okay. We just seen what happened at 11:58. The whole bar turned around when Higgins was running his mouth, and Brian A threw up his arms.
Yep.
Okay,
So you know
Brian
it's
A.
loud.
It was loud. It was going down. Everybody knows, even Karen knows. The reason why Karen's probably keeping her cool because she knows Higgins probably just texted her at 11:32. She might have seen the text, might have looked down and seen it and said, "Oh shit, this dude's starting some starting some stuff." And I know why he's starting it, right? So if you look at the evidence, we know why Karen was mad when she peeled off, right? She was mad when she peeled off because she's thinking at that point, John's going to go in the house. Well, he did go in the house and everybody's going to buddy up with everybody. Cops are going to be friends, and they're going to show John O'Keefe the text messages about what Karen's been up to, and then the joke will be on Karen. So Karen blew her top and said, "You're a pervert," and did the deflection thing and did the victim thing and said, "Listen, the reason why you're even seeing what you're seeing, John, in so many words. Keep in mind, she's drunk out of her mind." Is because of what happened in Aruba. You sitting there kicking it with some girl, kissing on her in the pool, and you were telling me the night before she's like your sister. That's pervert mode, right? Or it could be what Jed says. Jed says in the car that driving over to 34 Fairview on the phone conversation, which I don't think, because I think the phone conversation was more or less was what was Higgins' problem, what was Brian A's problem. If anybody he's going to confide in, John O'Keefe, it would be to Jen McCabe because they know each other's family and the whole thing. But James says, well, maybe they were talking in some certain way, and based on the text messages throughout the day that he was having with Karen, right? They were like, he treated her a certain way. He could have been
Yeah,
doing what? Tell me
he
what
was
you were saying.
with the part where I said she would. Well, he was being very snarky in the beginning with the texting back and
Yeah,
forth.
that was on. Yeah, that was the morning of.
But
Well,
he
that was the
could have
20. That
been.
was the 28th.
Are you referring to when I said about the text in
Yeah,
between
yeah.
Karen John and Jen?
Karen. No,
Oh,
well, I'm
Karen.
saying John and Jen. If we're speculating, if he
Oh
would have
yes.
said,
Oh, he
he
could
could have
have been
said
trying to
something.
get her mad. Yeah, he could have said something smart, like just to upset her. No, cause like I'm going here, or trying to remember exactly how I said it. If you remember, break it down to me.
You just said that he could have just said anything that was perverted to her. It could have
Yeah,
been
he
like,
could.
hey, he could have just said anything that made her sick.
Yep. And that's where she could have been coming up with that. You're a pervert. And I could have sworn I seen somewhere too. These people were known to be swingers. She could have been calling him a pervert for that. If
Nah,
that's true,
man,
that's allegedly.
that's crazy, man. That's the stuff we got to let go. I mean, like,
Yeah.
because that didn't happen. Okay, like, you got to understand, this fight happened, and we're talking about a fight. We're sticking to the facts. We've seen what happened with them by 12:29. When this dude got in the house by 12:30, the fight was going down. So regardless if they were swingers, regardless of
Yeah.
what you
Right.
want to
That
say,
shit
what
don't.
they was, how they was, that's not the type of time they were on that night. No one gave a shit about that. And if they were swingers,
No.
why would there be a fight?
I was saying Karen. Could have
I mean,
said
that's what
that
I'm
to
saying.
John.
Like, what do you
Could
mean?
have. I mean, like you said, they could have. How I said about John saying to Karen, and Karen calling him a pervert. I'm not talking about that. That's why the fight broke.
No, but I'm saying but still, like to say like he could have said something wise to her is what you're saying. I mean, I get what that's he could have said something that caught her off guard. Me personally, I think that she said all that because she thinks at that point, if she knew what was going on in that bar, which we just showed the footage. If you're checking in right now, go ahead and rewind it. We just showed the footage. I don't want to get off topic here. I don't want to go down some rabbit hole about some shit we said in the past because I don't know exactly what was said. I just know that you said he could have said something wise in the car and it could have just made her mad. But based on this footage you're talking about what happened in between the time what created a fight. Based on this footage, Higgins felt a certain way. He texted her at 11:32, 11:55 they're play fighting, 11:58 he's throwing up his hands. At 12:20 he texted him, "Are you coming here?" I mean, isn't that enough to make you say, "Okay, there was a fight"? And then
think it
Karen
would
was
have
in the.
been?
I mean, you think it would have been, but the thing is, like we talk about Hank Brennan. Hank Brennan is going to want to know what Karen knows. I think Hank Brennan, he's about the truth. He's a truth seeker. So, like, is he going to want her to get on the stand? Like I said, if they get creative and figure out a way for her to get on the stand and somewhat testify against them during her trial and get creative. I know that sounds far-fetched. People are going to say there's no way she's testifying. Well, if they throw the manslaughter out, there's a possibility their team, the defense team, Yannetti, Jackson, and the whole crew, and and um and Beetlejuice, Hank Brennan, they could all agree for her to testify and see it through her eyes after reviewing the footage. Because let's keep it real, she was drunk as a skunk when it happened. She didn't realize if she's looking at the footage we're looking at now, it's gonna jog her
Things are
memory.
starting to come back, right? But there you go back to that muscle memory, and they make deals all the time in the courtrooms, man. So this could definitely be something exactly what you said. They could make a deal.
Well, I'm saying, if that was the case, I mean, because if you're looking at this footage, we know that Hank Brennan is looking at this footage as well as we're doing it. He knows what the defense is thinking because he does the same thing. It's like a defensive team versus a defensive team. It's like the Celtics versus the Miami Heat. It's always a battle because they play zone and the Celtics, play 3-point shooting. So hey, we'll play the zone and we'll make them live with the 3 and die by the 3. And if they
Yeah.
make them, they win. If they don't, we win. So they did it to us, right? And they don't even have a better team than us. So the point is, he knows the strategies. He knows what to do. So if he's going to think that they're going to switch up the strategy of the third party culprit and they're going to go on that footage, he's going to sit there and see exactly what we've seen and seen everybody turn around and see that there was a fight. He's going to look at Maddie McCabe's testimony and be like, wait a minute, you was in the car with Jen McCabe. You heard what she was saying. And Karen, you was in the car with John and you heard what he was saying. So was there any animosity? And if people can just tell the truth on that, then we'll know if a fight happened. But I think he's going to want to know the truth. If anything.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Brennan needs to dismiss charges 1 and 3. Well, November 6th, we're going to find out. November 6th, we're going to find out. I think it's going to Kev, exactly what was being said. Let's see. And John was going back and forth with Karen saying, I can't show up there, talk shit, and I'll be a chump. That would be a legitimate issue. Exactly. I mean, she didn't want to show up there and get her spot blown up. You know what I mean? That's what I think. And based on this video, the only problem I have with Karen, I keep saying that the accountability I put on Karen is by her not saying that there was tense issues prior to him going to 34 Fairview. Or was she that drunk and she didn't know? But
Could have been that too.
I just seen everybody turn around and look though.
Right. Well, that's another thing I was going to say, Jay. Hank Brennan's going to be asking all of those people, wait a second. None of you saw what was going on here? None of you thought that this was going to lead to something? Brian Albert's waving. I didn't even see that. Brian Albert's waving. Come on, just come back to my house. That is crazy.
Look at this, man. Look at this. He grabs his arm. Watch this. Now, keep in mind, that girl already had walked over to Chris and they were talking, right? And now she's going over to John. And now she's talking to John. She's wiping her head. Look at the bar. She's wiping her head. She just came from Chris Albert. She came from that area of dudes. It doesn't show it, but that's where she came from. She came
Could
from
have
that
been
area.
air hustling. Then went
That's what
over
I'm
to
saying.
Yep.
She
and
was
told
air
John.
hustling and certain things.
Yep.
Right? And now she's talking. Look, and she turns around. She like the way she did her hair. Now I don't know who that is. Is that Karen? That's what I'm saying. If that's Karen, that's crazy. Like look at this part right here. The way she twists her hair. Right here. Watch this. She looks nervous as hell. And then she's talking right to John. See her with the hair looking over at him? Look in the top corner. You see with the hair?
Yeah,
Top
when she's
corner.
doing like this.
Yeah, look at the way she's
That's
looking at
not
him.
Karen.
But look.
Karen's talking to Jen. Yeah, I
Okay,
seen it.
Karen's talking to Jen. But look at them. She knows, whoever this girl is knows exactly what's going on. She sees them. She came from them. Look,
Yep.
she's wiping her head. Oh, what are they doing? Oh, man, it's going to be a fight. She's
Yep.
scared. Now she goes over to John. Look, and now she's talking to John. Yo, you know they're going to beef with you, right? Don't
Right.
trust them motherfuckers over there. Who? Believe me when I tell you. Let me
Yep.
go over there and talk to him.
And then look
What?
at Chris
Talk to him about
stopping her
what?
right
And he
now.
goes
Don't
right
worry,
over
hon.
to it. She goes right over there to talk to him. Right?
Yep.
Now look, everybody turned around. Everybody turned around when Higgins throwing his hands up. Everybody turned around.
Did this woman testify, Jay?
Look, let's go back to when Higgins throws his hands up and everybody turns around. Let me get the complete motion. She's scared with her head. She's scared. Higgins. Boom. They turn around, right? They're turning around, seeing what Higgins is selling, right? Everybody's turning around. Now, look, there you go. Big bad Brian A's arms up too. It's in the picture. That arm that you see is in the picture. Everybody's looking at what's going on. Everybody. Chris A's talking to the girl like, listen, just tell John everything's going to be all right.
Right.
Right? Everybody's looking. And Karen's got to be looking too. You can't see Karen because she's behind JM, but she sees too. And she's got to be somewhat embarrassed, Karen. And she tries to go back to talk. Now, look, they whisper each other. Look at Karen and them. She sits back down, right?
Yep. Like nothing just took place.
He's got the arm. Now, this is when he grabs the arm again, right? This is going back, right? And he's grabbing him, right? Now they're whispering, right? J.F.K is whispering to Karen. He's telling her to chill out. And this is when they leave. Everybody's leaving. Heel toe. They're still talking. He knows it's going down. Now, at that particular moment, when you see John O'Keefe drinking his beer and you see Karen, and Karen's talking to JM, the thing is, I think Karen was no selling it. I think she was just no selling it. I think she knew what was going on. She knew what Higgins was mad about, and she just was acting like, I don't know nothing.
Right.
I don't know shit. You know what I mean?
Let me just keep acting like, because Officer O'Keefe, John was saying things to her earlier that day. He knew about it. And the first thing he did, John's funny. He walked in. Well, I'll repeat it. He walked in and he hugged Higgins. Like, I think that was his way of being like, all right, I know what you did, But it's all good. I'm not gonna get on you for it. Because if he wanted to, he could have just blasted him right there and set it off. Talking to my girl behind my back.
It's crazy, bro.
But so, Jay, did that woman testify that was next to John? Do you know? Does anybody know if that woman testified?
Who exactly is that girl? Is that Nicole Abbott? Because if that's Nicole, because it's probably Nicole. It's probably Nicole going to Chris Albert. And if it's Caitlin, it's their daughter going to her uncle. So if they testify, they're not going to say anything about that. She knew it was going down. They knew. They all knew. Everybody in that bar knew the joke was on Karen. Everybody knew. Everybody knew that Karen was behind Higgins' back. She was the entertainment. And when they seen the pit bulls get wild up, Jen McCabe probably tried to stick into Karen's ear, like, don't worry about it. Karen's acting like, oh, I didn't see nothing. And John knows it's about to go down. And like I said, he texted, what's the address? Jen McCabe called him up, talked to him for 44 seconds. What she talked to him for 44 seconds about? She didn't mention what just went down in that bar. She didn't mention. And then keep in mind, right? That was at 12. Keep in mind, that was at 12:14, then 12:18, right? And then he called her back for 36 seconds after that. And then he gets a text message from Higgins saying, you coming here.
Yeah, you
So
coming.
I mean, like, he knows what's going on. The question is, what did Karen know? And is that something that Karen has to be forthcoming about? Or she didn't know? We don't know.
Someone said it was Caitlyn. Someone, I mean.
But even if it was Caitlyn, it don't matter who it was. If it was Caitlyn,
they heard what went down. And they ear hustled the conversation prior to going over to Officer O'Keefe.
yeah, and whatever they said, they probably said, listen, man, my uncle's mad, they're pissed at you, or you know what I mean? Like, watch your back. She could have gave him a clue.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If she liked him, just a heads up, like, yo, watch your back when you go out there. John took a sip of his beer, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. It's about to go down.
Yep, long sip too. Like he was chugging that beer. It's just crazy to think. I was just thinking, man. R.I.P. to Officer O'Keefe. Who would have known?
Look, there she goes. Look at her with her head, though. She just came from them. Look at her with her hair and all that. Look at her. Like right around John. She's just hanging around John. She could have been the most soberest one, just seeing it all go down. Everybody else is acting like it ain't serious. Right. If that's Caitlyn, she knows her dad. If that's Nicole, she knows her man. So either way, she knows that big bad Brian A., he ain't fucking around.
No.
Now, Pete, look at her.
Yeah.
She's looking right at them.
She's like, oh, they're still talking about this. They're not letting it go.
They're not letting it go. Look, she turns around.
Tells John.
Tell John. John looks.
Chris A. sees that.
Now, look, they all turn around and they look. Everybody's stressed out. Bam. Are you coming or what? Right after he does that one yell. See when he says it loud?
Yep.
He says something loud. Like, what's the deal, dudes? You coming or what? Don't be a pussy. Now, look what the girl does. Right off the bat. Now, everybody turns around and looks. This dude's out of here. The big guy right there.
Poor vet. He had to walk around 2 tables.
Yeah, now watch. Watch what she does. Now, keep under the timestamp. She moves right over to Chris. Chris, what the fuck, man?
What's going on? I thought you said it was going to be okay.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, this is crazy, man. He's our friend. Why
John,
are you doing this? Like, come on. Like, he's here with his girl. Look at Jen. Look at John looking over there. Look at this. Just look at this scene. Everybody take a look. For all you non-believers, this is 1/28/2022, 11:58.
That's crazy.
11:58. Karen
11:58.
Karen left 34 Fairview around 12:29, right? Apparently, she left around that time. And she hooked up to the internet at 12:36, which means it's between 12:29 and 12:45. Let's just say is when John O'Keefe got hit and, was hit bad and got hurt real bad. And this was exactly at 11:58 before they left the bar. Keep in mind, Matty M was on the backup because Matty M was in the car talking to Jen McCabe, and maybe that's why he feels like he needs to stop by the house the next day and make sure the police are shoveling up the right stuff and take a picture and all that stuff, because he was in the car with Jen McCabe. He could have stopped the whole thing. He could have told John, don't show up. What if he was in the car saying, nah, show up? You got to show up. What if he was the first one to throw a blow?
Right.
What if he held John down? How big do you think he is? We talked about this before.
I say 280 maybe, 300 pounds at least, 6 feet, 300 pounds.
So he could have easily just put his weight on John.
Put his weight.
Man.
Yeah,
that's it.
Held him.
So why the next day is he in front of the house talking about they're in front of the Asian's house? Why is he not saying? Now keep in mind he's friends with John O'Keefe. He's more friends with John O'Keefe than Brian Albert.
than anybody. Yeah, that you would think so. At least his kids were. They all.
So why wouldn't he be like, man, the poor kids, man, they lost their mother, they
Right.
lost their father, now they lost John, and how did this happen? How did
Don't
he end
tell
up
him.
on the lawn?
Right.
How did he end up on the lawn, man? And how didn't we see him? Because I was driving, my wife is in the passenger seat, I
We
got
pulled
Julie in the
out.
back,
Yeah,
I got
nobody
this
saw him.
girl, no one see nothing. And then Higgins left at 1 a.m. and then Caitlin left.
Oh
Albert
wait,
with
let's
Tristan.
disclaimer. Julie Nagel, didn't she see a black blob or something?
No, not yeah. Julie Daigle seen the Julie
Yeah.
Nagel. You're right. She's seen the black blob, but no one said anything about the black blob.
Right.
You know what I mean? No one said that, but she had to say that in court because at that point she was willing to take the L, the loss. If you guys don't know what that means, she was willing to be the one to step out there to put an end to this. She figured if I testify and say that there was a blob, right, then maybe we could stop this. So you've seen a blob. So let's see what a blob would look like in front of here.
6 foot up.
So this is what a blob would look like. Let me see. This is what a blob. Excuse me, people. All right, we're pulling out the driveway. James, do the
Let's
do
go.
the honors, will you, buddy?
Go, Jay. It's time to leave. You forget anything? Nah.
Let me hide this comment so we can see everything. Go ahead, brother. Take us out of this lot. Oh, there's a blob right there. It's a 6 foot blob.
God damn. Look at
It's a
those
6 foot
lights.
blob.
Both my headlights are working perfect.
It's a 6 foot blob right there. It's glowing.
Jesus.
Ah, that's Officer John O'Keefe. R.I.P. Officer John O'Keefe. R.I.P. John O'Keefe. Officer John O'Keefe for sure.
She definitely saw something.
Back us out of there again, man. Pull me out this driveway again.
Let's go. All right, we're backing up. Yep, seems like it. See anything? Nah, my headlights are working though. Snow's all, the ground's lit up. Nothing there, man.
See, the Commonwealth would want you to believe it's the size of a football field. That, you possibly could miss a 6 foot man laying in the grass with snow flurries coming down before the storm hits. And then they would want you to believe that what you seen at the bar wasn't a fight about to go down. And then the text messages back it up between Higgins texting her at 11:32. Because, of course, if you're texting a girl at 11:32 in the bar with her man, you're looking for trouble.
You're definitely looking for trouble, man. Come on.
You're looking for trouble.
It's such a small yard, too. Like, the way they, like you said, the way they make it sound is like, it's not like that, man. The yard is very small. I went to Google Maps to look up 34 Fairview. The house is blurred out. You can't see, but every other house on the street you can see. But that house, for some reason, in Google Maps is blurred out. You can't see it. But you can see the flagpole. And you can see all the houses around have doorbell cameras on them. One in particular that would see everything that went down.
It's crazy, bro. Look at this guy. Matty M was on the backup. Here's a guy that's walking around Canton, Stoughton. He's around your neighborhood. He's out there. You might see him out there. This guy right here. He was on the backup.
You really couldn't make out her words a lot of the time, correct?
Not when she was outside my house, no.
Skipping ahead to when you went back to Fairview that morning, it's fair to say that when you went, did you say that you went inside Fairview at maybe around 7 a.m.? Is that a good estimate?
Yeah, I don't know the exact time, but it would say give or take, could be a little before, a little after, but somewhere in that vicinity.
And I believe you testified that the only people inside that you saw there were your wife, Brian Albert, and Nicole Albert. In addition to Officer.
At that moment, that's who I recall seeing there.
Why is everybody there at 7 a.m., man? Why is everybody there after the death? You know what I mean? Like, why is everybody, like, you know what I mean? Like, why didn't they go to the hospital? He ain't dead yet.
Yeah, he's go to the hospital.
He ain't
spend
even
some
dead
time
yet,
with-
though.
Right. Spend some time with his family. Why you at? Because they're plotting and scheming, and
Okay,
they're
so there were, and you didn't know where Brian Jr. was, whether he was sleeping, but you didn't see him.
I don't recall seeing him at that moment, no.
Okay. And Officer Lank was the only police
At that
official
moment.
that you saw inside, correct?
At that moment, correct.
Okay. Now, in the days after January 29th, you participated.
Oh, shit.
look at him right there.
Yo.
Oh, here comes this
Yo.
question, huh?
Oh, damn.
Wow.
In days, I think it was what? It was 2 days after? I think it was a
Oh.
day after. I don't know. Let's see exactly what day it was. But this is when he showed up at the house. Look at this dude. He's like, damn, Matty M's on the
Damn.
backup. You know what I mean? He's on the backup, bro. Matty M. Come on, swing it. Come on, swing it.
Yo, that's
Come on,
Matty.
swing it. Come on, swing it. You already know, Matty M. It's just a good vibration. Look at that face. Come on. It's just a...
The chubby
Many people
Will
want to know who
Ferrell.
done this. Matty M, and I'm here to move you. Rhyme will groove you. Come on, Matty M. Let's go, Matty M.
Shit.
Come on, you on the backup, buddy. Wow, look at this guy.
Participated in a group text exchange with 3 other people. Do you recall that?
Shit, yeah. Yo, he's fucked, dude. Yo, Matty M, bro. What did you do, buddy? You're going to jail for life.
Yo,
You got a murder beef, bro.
this dude, his wife beats him up, bro.
Oh, man, dude. He was on the backup for real with his wife, dude.
His wife.
Look at him.
Can you name the 3 people?
Sure.
Can you name the 3 people?
Can you name the 3? No, can you, Matty M?
Yo, Yannetti said,
You got
sure.
Joey McIntyre.
Yo.
You got,
Please don't go, girl. Hey, listen.
man.
Yannetti is so poetic, right?
He said, sure.
He's like, yo, he's such, my man like thinks he's in a rap battle, man. My man Yannetti. He's like, sure, and he's just dropping names. Man, come on. I don't even know how he could keep his cool at that point. Yannetti is a poetic justice fellow, man. Look at this guy.
Absolutely.
You had a group text chat going with your wife, Jennifer McCabe, your brother-in-law, Brian Albert, and your sister-in-law, Nicole Albert, correct?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. You didn't know nothing about that.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we were talking. We were
I'd like
talking
to
about this
ask you
dance
some
we were gonna do.
Questions about that group text chat, if I might.
He said, I'd like to ask you some questions about that group chat. Look at his face. He's like, oh,
Right.
Sure.
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 You would agree with me that on February 1st of 2022, that was 3 days after John O'Keefe passed away, correct?
Yes.
And at some
What do you say,
point
2
on
days?
February 1st of 2022, you were physically either at or near the Albert home at 34
February 1st, right? So that was what? That was 3 days later.
Fairview in Canton, correct?
I could have been. I don't
You could have been. Come on, bro.
recall if I was there.
You recall watching what investigators were doing in the neighborhood on February 1st?
I do not. If you could show it to me, I could maybe
If you could show
reflect
it
my
to
memory.
me.
I do not recall that specific
If you could
day.
show,
You
it'll do what to his
recall
memory?
monitoring what troopers were doing in
I
the
was not
neighborhood?
monitoring anything that the troopers were doing. If I had driven down the street, dropping someone off, picking somebody up, and saw the troopers, then I saw the troopers. I was not monitoring.
Look at how
anything.
red he got. If you guys could see how red he got, my man went. I got it on the big screen so I could see it. My man got so red, dog. Wow,
Yeah, he went
James.
from a ghost to looks
He
like
said-
he just came out the tanning bed.
Yeah.
Matty M just came out the damn.
Oh man.
Oh
Directing
shit.
your attention to 1:34 p.m. and 27 seconds.
Look at that.
What's so funny, Matty?
Look at this.
Texted.
Oh, what did he say right there? Hold on, I gotta rewind that.
Matty gave him the
Look at that.
Was in danger of waking up the whole neighborhood, correct?
She was loud, correct.
And other than screaming, Jen, Jen.
Wait. I think I lost
That's my question. This is a page that contains the group text that you had with Jen McCabe, Brian Albert, and Nicole Albert, correct?
Yes.
And in terms of the question that I asked you, you now acknowledge that you testified troopers back out front, but in front of Asian House, correct?
That's correct.
Mr. McCabe, what is an Asian house?
Oh shit!
Oh,
I'm crying.
What's he say? What's he say?
Yo, I'm crying. Your Nettie got me crying in the whip, dude. Your Nettie, you are a funny dude, man. Your Nettie is the man, son. Yo, I can't believe. Yo, your Nettie, man, that is hilarious.
He's right, though, right? What does it mean, Jay?
Wow, that is so funny, man.
He's definitely.
Let's look at this answer, bro.
The next door neighbors to the Alberts were Asian.
So you call it the Asian?
Oh man. Oh. Yeah, man, I'm crying over here. Everybody in the chat, I'm sorry, I'm crying. It's too funny.
So you mean that a family of Asian origin lived next door?
Yannetti is Yannetti's slick, man. He's tactical, bro. It's like a rap battle, bro. He's slick with the wordplay, man. He ain't playing.
Yes.
They were the next door neighbors to your brother-in-law and sister-in-law?
Correct. They lived, if you come out of Fairview, they lived to the right of the Alberts.
And did you know their last name was the Chungs?
I had no idea that. I've never met them. I don't know their last names. I just knew it was an Asian family next door.
Yo, he did not just say that. Yo, Yannetti, you're crazy, Yannetti. Yannetti, man, you are a crazy dude, man. Think about it. He wrote that up, James.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy.
That was Bob. That was some Eminem shit. 8 Mile. He hit him with the punchline. Do you know their last names are the Chungs?
Yo, he said that because he would have said. Then he was gonna say next. Well, why didn't you just say they were in front of the Chunks house? You know, why did you have to say the Asian in front of the Asians?
Yo,
Yannetti.
And you didn't feel the need to ask their names or try to call them by their names.
Never met. Sorry.
Objections sustained. You know what, Ms. Giannetti, let's come to sidebar, please.
Of course, come to sidebar. Of course, come to side. Drink that water, buddy. Drink it up.
Right.
Drink it up, bro.
Let me get him. So he's gonna be eating ramen noodles, bro.
Yo,
you better get used to them ramen noodles.
Whew. Wow, man. I can't believe it, man. I just died laughing, man. That was crazy. Oh,
that was a good laugh, though, man.
That was a good one, man. Man, he's poetic justice. I mean, based on what we're seeing a dude get caught up in lies. Because keep in mind, Matty M was on the backup. He was in the car. He was in the house. He helped them. If John O'Keefe started getting the best of either one of them dudes, Higgins or whatever, Matty M would have to jump in at that point because keep in mind, he's brothers with Brian Albert. They're brother-in-laws. He's got to be Marky. He doesn't got the badge. He's not ATF. He's not a Boston cop. He's just a regular dude. He's got to show off, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy, man.
Matty M on the backup. He's definitely ramen noodles mixed with crushed Doritos. Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Wow, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff.
You can't even make that part up.
No, you can't.
I cannot wait to see this trial, go. I mean, I hope it doesn't go. I hope something happens and there's some justice and it doesn't even have to go to trial. But to see stuff like this, and it's just so bizarre that people don't see through this bullshit. Like, even people who still think Karen hit him, even all these objections, sustained. Like, wouldn't you want to hear the truth? It's just wild. At the
No,
end
you're
of
right, bro. It's talk to the people, man. We got 194 people up here, 190 people. I'm just gonna play a couple more minutes of this guy right quick, man, and show you what I mean. This guy's crazy, man. Watch this guy. Watch what he says. I was just going through to find a spot just to end it with a bang. Man, how we feeling, chat? How we doing? Bev knows the truth. The fact that Beverly could just sit there.
Mr. Jackson, if you are planning on doing this with the next witness, I'd like you to let Mr. Lally know which ones of these you intend to use so that we can avoid all of this.
What's
and
up,
if you have a
CC?
copy from me, that would be helpful for objections.
Yeah, see you later, Miss Beverly Canoni. Your public pretender. Beat it.
Phony Canoni.
Yeah, man. She's just sidebar trooper right there. There won't be another trial. Special prosecutor Brennan is there to clean up Morrissey's inadequate prosecution debacle. The jury's in the house. The jury's back. I can't even tell you how many times they made the jury leave that room.
And you know what? That's another thing. The jury has to leave so they don't get to hear and see all the fuckery that's going on when they're not in the courtroom.
Right. He's so ready. Yanetti's on point, man.
That's ready, Yanetti.
Yanetti.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. McCabe, when we broke, I was just about to ask you about the last exchange here. You will agree with me that on February 1st of 2022 at 12:51 and 49 seconds, you texted the group chat to say, ask Chris to ask some questions, correct?
Yep, I'm reading it right now. Yes, that's correct.
And who was the Chris you were referring to?
That would be Chris Albert.
Brian's brother, correct?
That is correct.
And then you then texted your wife, Brian Albert, and Nicole Albert, quote, tell them the guy never went in the house, correct?
Yeah, that's part of the same text. Yes.
Mr. McCabe, who was the guy that you were referring to? Does he have a name?
That would be John O'Keefe.
Oh my God.
When you told the group
terrible
to tell them the guy never went in the house, that was you talking about how you should all get your stories straight, correct?
No.
Watch this.
You would agree with me that your stories are all straight in terms of the guy never went in the house, correct?
Objection.
Can you answer that?
John never went in the house. It's not a story, it's a fact.
Then why say it then? Then why say don't tell them the guy didn't go in the house if it's a fact? Why you gotta say it?
Bingo.
Well, when you said,
ooh, a little uneasy, huh, buddy?
Tell them the guy.
Look at his hand now. Look at his hand with that phone.
Flashlight on and shit.
Never went in the house. Brian Albert was on that exchange still, was he not?
Read again.
He was still part of the group text?
Yeah, he was. No problem. Not a big deal. Yeah, he was still there. He didn't say nothing incriminating. Yeah.
Yes, Brian is on the exchange.
And Brian Albert was the one to respond, wasn't he?
Wait a minute. Wait. I gotta look. Yep. Hold on. I gotta look at this one thing. Just give me
Hold
1
on.
second. Hold on 1 minute.
Let me switch pages here.
Yeah, let me switch pages and get my composure.
Hold on.
Oh
my
yeah, look at
flashlight.
him. Look at him. Look at him going through it all. Watch this.
51.
12:51.
This is 51.
He
Page
knows exactly what was said. He knows exactly what
You don't
was
have
said.
to look at those notes.
Nothing. He knows exactly.
Responded,
You're
did he
wasting your
not?
battery with that flashlight.
Yes, he.
too. Straight up.
Oh
It
man.
was mad bright in there.
Oh,
Yeah, and then at that point, you knew Brian Albert was the oldest brother of the Albert family, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The oldest sibling in that family, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And in his response to your instructions that his younger brother, Chris,
look at him smiling. Once he said instructions, he gave a smile, a smirk. Your instructions. He didn't like that. He didn't like that when he said your instructions because he knows he's being instructed. He knows that he's in a pickle. He knows that he's, he thought he was the man helping him out, but now he realized he's the bitch that he really is. And he's smirking about it because in his mind, maybe he's the one. Maybe he's the one that came up with this idea. Maybe he's the one that's quarterbacking it, and he feels mad that he can't take the credit for it.
Yeah, no, he's the crash dummy, I think, Jay.
Yeah, but look at him smirking, mad that he said that. Instructions. He got so mad, like, damn, my whole life they've been giving me instructions. Look at him.
I've been taking instruction from these guys since I married this bitch.
Damn, man. Look.
I should say that
look at him.
John O'Keefe never went in the house, or the guy never went in the house. You would agree with me that he responded with one word, correct?
Oh, and he still flipped the page. Dude, you just flipped that page 9 times, man.
For one word?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
And in response to you saying the guy never went in the house, Brian Albert's response was, exactly, correct?
Yes, that's his response.
All right, we're done here.
All right. Commonwealth, any redirect?
Just briefly, Your Honor.
Look at him. How you feel about that? Yeah, shut that off. You know exactly how to shut that off. Who you texting?
Oh, you know how to lock that phone?
Yep. Look at that.
Mr. McCabe, John O'Keefe never went in the house that night. Is that correct?
That's correct.
He knows the questions are going to get easier now.
As far as Chris Albert was concerned, was Chris Albert ever at the house on that night?
No, he was not.
And this is something that you obviously.
His whole demeanor
John
changes.
O'Keefe occurring. How it did, where it did, and why it did. That was something that you discussed.
Can you keep your voice up?
Yes, I'm sorry. This.
He thought you was talking to him.
To John O'Keefe, his death, where, why, how.
Look, he's trying to guide him. He's trying to guide him. This tragic event that happened to John O'Keefe. This tragic, like, you know what I mean? Try to put words in his mouth to impress the jury. You know what I mean? Because never once have these people showed any compassion to John O'Keefe. No, he was never in the house. It's a fact. Like, never, like, listen, man, none of them ever broke down crying. I can't believe he's gone. He was a good guy. His kids are suffering. This is bad. None of them, like, got emotional, especially if you're being accused of being the murderers. And so now here's.
I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, like you said, how with them not saying anything about this, I just wish Yannetti would have said that to this guy. How come when you guys had this group text, you guys weren't talking about the kids and the family and how bad this was, and none of that was brought up? It was all, don't tell the guy went in. Exactly. Come on, man. And
look at this. Look at this. Now, Lally, like I said, he's trying to paint the picture like this tragic event and make him go along with it.
That was something that you discussed within your family, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
He said, this tragic event that occurred with John O'Keefe, this is just something you discussed with your family, right? You guys discussed this. You know what I mean? Like, it was like an internal thing. Like,
correct.
What?
I didn't hear that
Why
one.
was it a discussion in your family?
why was it a discussion in your family? Please tell us why. Give me some emotion, please. He's telling them. He's passing the mic. He's like, James, man, kick 15, 16 bars. He's
Yep.
telling him, man, give me some emotion, man. Break down and cry, please, because he just killed you. He just killed you.
Yep.
Please come back with some emotion. He's guiding him, but this clown in his mind's thinking, I'm doing 20 years. I'm done. That's what he's thinking.
You're talking about the immediately after? No one knew what happened. John never showed it, never came in the house. So we had no idea what happened to John.
And John was someone
That
you were friends
wasn't-
with, correct?
Yes.
Say what?
That wasn't the question that Lally just asked him, and then he answered with a.
He answered with the monologue. He never showed up. We just wondered what happened to him. He never came in the house. Well, obviously he never came in the house. Why keep stressing it? He was found dead on the lawn, though.
That's correct.
Now, did you ever tell anybody what to say at any point in time to the state police, to any investigator whatsoever?
No.
Did anyone in your family or in your presence?
All right, this dude's done, man. I can't look at this clown anymore. He's got to get off my screen. Sorry, guys. He's got to go. You know, he's got to go, man. He's a real clown. What's up, CC? How we doing? Kim Robinson, how we feeling? You know, we're gonna get into this real quick. You know, it's crazy because we know Big Bad Brian A said he was upstairs. You know, he said he was upstairs with his wife during the all.
After you went to bed,
Making sweet love.
1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.
Look at this.
Yes.
Look at how good this dude is. Have you made any phone calls? He says.
This dude's professional at this.
Professional. Watch this.
Who did you call?
I inadvertently called Brian Higgins.
You say you inadvertently called him at 2:22 in the morning.
Yes.
How did you inadvertently call him?
Well, I don't know
because it was inadvertent.
Man, that is crazy.
It's so smooth.
So smooth. It was inadvertent. Now, that's crazy.
Isn't it true that at the other hearing you indicated that at or around the 2:22 time frame?
At 2:22, when the phone calls came in with Higgins, he must have rolled over and it was a butt dial because this is what he was doing.
You and your wife were in bed together in an intimate situation.
Yes, around that time.
Nicole, I love you, baby. Talk to him, James.
Don't go, Nicole.
Nicole, it's been a long time. All over, baby.
Phones all over the bed.
Yeah.
Phones bouncing.
Did you put that Pandora on, that New Kids on the Block playlist, baby? You know I know Donnie, right? Yeah. Donnie's my boy. He made me the 6th member of the New Kids, baby. Don't go, Nicole. Oh, I love you, baby. Tell me, girl, tell me you'll stay. Now, we didn't notice none of this outside because by making that sweet love, we didn't notice that there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cop cars in a blizzard. We never once looked out the window, baby, because when it snows, it pours. When it snows, it pours. We don't look out the window. We don't look out the window to see how much snow's coming. Oh, by the way, we didn't notice all the flashing lights, and we didn't notice or hear Cameron Reed screaming. We didn't
Chloe wasn't barking while we were making sweet love. No.
And even if she was barking, James,
she couldn't
penetrate the vibe we was on. Come on, let's sing it. Come on. I love you, Nicole. Walk with me. Yeah, it's just me and you, girl. Yeah. Don't matter about all them lights outside. Don't worry about them lights. It means nothing.
That's a disco light, Nicole.
Please don't go, girl. Stay with me.
Stay with me.
I love you.
I love you.
Oh! Meanwhile, this is what really happened. Yeah. We know what really happened, Big Bad Brian A. Damn, man. We know what really happened.
R.I.P. to Officer John O'Keefe.
We know what really happened. We know what really happened, don't we? We know what really happened, don't we, people? We know what really happened. What were they really doing all night long, James?
Cleaning up after the mess they made. I'm sure Nicole's done that a few times.
How we feeling, chat? How we feeling? How we feeling, people? How we feeling? Because we know that Hank Brennan, he doesn't like cops.
With bringing out the government part of the corruption.
Well, we expect our criminals to commit crimes. That's what criminals do. We don't expect that from our law enforcement.
That's right, Hank.
What's going on here, people? What are we going to see the next trial? With that being said, I'm going to get into something here, and we're going to do it like this. We're going to do it like this, and we're going to just open up the phone lines real quick. And
we got 190 people in the chat.
There you go, 109 people in the chat, and we're going to do it like that. And bang, let me get that phone number out here. Anybody that's been rocking with us, hit the phone lines up. It's your chat, people. It's your phone lines. Phone lines are open. The line of question is, what do we think? What's Hank Brennan going to do next trial? What was Brian A. and Nicole doing that whole night? How were they preparing this? Was Matty M on the backup? Did he have something? Was he more involved than meets the eye? What did Matty M know? What did he do?
How do you feel about that footage? JFK breaking down the bar scene now. There's more to meets the eye to that, and the way you broke that down tonight was just, man.
Thank you, buddy.
That was great. That has to be definitely. I hope somebody on her team. That's got to be the whole focus. Hopefully, Hank sees that video.
CC said he knew what he was doing. They had Karen away from the scene and got their story straight and act all surprising Karen when she finally saw him. Rose D said Nicole was cleaning for days. Little Love said, I think Beetlejuice is going to uncover the corruption. I lost that. Let me see. Uncover the corruption. That's what I believe.
At least they had donuts, someone said.
Yeah, they had 6 donuts. Phone lines are open, people. Who's going to be the first one to jump into the phone call? We've been at it an hour and 27 minutes. We want to hear from you. And remember, super chats are the business. If you want to cash app James Jackson, it's James. Break down your cash app, buddy.
It's $ James Amaral, AMARAL Jr. JR. Appreciate it.
This is the truth. You're live with J.F.K. and James Jackson. Who are we talking with?
Hey, JFK, it's Patty.
Hey, Patty, what's going on?
Calling you from Rhode Island, but I'm a Boston girl at heart.
Nice. What do you want to talk about tonight?
So I want to talk about the whole scene. I love that you started this out with the bar scene, because the whole thing didn't just start right there. I think that this is my theory, so I'm going to take it a little off topic. I think go back to when Jen, remember the football game, right? And didn't she have a smooch with Higgins? They were watching. Okay, so we know that Brian Higgins was good friends with, I would say, with John O'Keefe, right? And Karen, right? Somewhat, okay, friendly.
Can't hear you, Jay.
They're hanging out, they're getting trashed, they're watching the game, right? Now it's time for Big Higgins to leave. Higgins, she's walking him out the door. Higgins plants a kiss on her. Now there's cameras all over the place at his house, right? It's John O'Keefe. John O'Keefe sees this on the on the cameras. Karen walks back in the house. He says, what just happened? And now he grabs Karen's phone. I think when we go back, we got to go back and dissect those texts.
Where are you going? Are you rolling under the bed when you're talking to us? Like, what are you looking for something under your bed?
Did you pocket dial us?
Are you underneath the car doing an oil change right now? What are you doing?
I know why. I'm talking with my hands.
Oh shit! You might want to. Are you doing an oil change right now?
What are you talking
about? Because you keep going. It sounds like you're underneath the car or something.
Oh no, I'm just sitting here.
Okay, well your phone's doing some crazy stuff.
Oh really? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. You on speaker?
Yeah.
All right, just lower what's going on in the background. You got us in the background?
You got Maddie
there
with you?
Okay. Can you hear that?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So my theory is just that I think all of this started back from that game. And I think that, I just think that we're in other words, I think when you go back to the dissecting of the text, it didn't, when they read it out loud, it didn't sound like Karen's MO. It didn't sound like what she would text a guy. Oh, I wish you would have stayed, all this crap, especially if she's coming off of a Aruba trip where John was just sucking face with some girl. You know what I mean? It just doesn't sound like she would do it. My theory is that John grabbed her phone and started busting Higgins's balls and was texting as though it was coming from Karen's phone. Because think about it. Why would Higgins be... He was too mad when he walked into that bar, the scene that you were commenting on tonight.
Well, you want me to go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. So I think that he was busting Higgins's balls, trying to catch him using Karen's phone, and then Karen had to go to Higgins's house and explain to him, okay, listen, John had the phone, he was busting your balls. He wanted to see if you would take me up on, if you were really going to try to hit on me and try to do something behind his back. I think that's what happened. I think that's my theory. I don't know. Right. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, what we're going to do is continue to watch the stream. Me and James, we're going to hang up with you and me and James are going to talk about it. All right.
Okay, good.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right. Love. James, what do you think about that theory? You think that John got the phone, started texting Higgins and all that? Because keep in mind, I just want to say one thing. Keep in mind, Karen went to Higgins' house.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to... Until she said that part where, he went to the house and he could have said something. It's a possibility. I think it's a...
No. Keep in mind, no, Karen went to Higgins' house.
Yes.
So after all them texts, she went to his house. So there's no way it was John doing the texting because she went to Higgins' house and hung out with him. They went to a bar. In South Boston, if I'm not mistaken, and she went to Higgins' house and hung out with him.
So all the text mess, she would have seen the thread and been like, "That was John" or whatever.
Yeah,
but she's still...
it's still possible. Yeah, I guess. But then John wouldn't want to see her. Like, why would John want her to come and hang out with?
Especially with where there's kids in the house, and why would you want a girl that doesn't really want to commit?
So Karen, rest in bitch face. Wow, what a name! Beautiful. Rest in bitch face said Karen kissed him and knew there was cameras where John didn't see it, and she admitted to the text. This is true. Let me take the next one. Hello? What's going on here? Hello? The call ended. Sorry about that. Give me a call back. Sorry about that. Something went down. I don't know what it was.
She did go to his house. Yes, she did. But I absolutely...
She did go to his house. Yeah, she went to his house, and to answer the question, she said, "Why was he so mad?" I mean, people are drinking liquor all day. He came from New York. Brian A's in his ear, saying, "Hey, man, you need to talk to this dude." See, some people know how to keep dirty air between people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, what do you think they were talking on that New York trip home?
I think they were definitely speaking upon that, like, because it's just a 4-hour ride. There's definitely no silence, and maybe he was trying to build a bond with Brian Albert that he felt like he could trust him enough, and then opened up to him. Who knows? Maybe he told him what was going on, and Brian Albert was like, "Well, you know what could happen with that, you know."
He's gonna want to throw hands when he finds that out.
Yeah.
I know this dude. He's a firecracker. If you're feeling a certain way about it, if you're feeling guilty about it, why don't you just tell him? Come on, James, man. You're talking behind your man's back to his girl. Just tell him if it's on your chest. Are you a pussy? What's wrong with you, James?
Yep. All that shit coming up.
From
Michael. Liquor to it.
You're live with J.F.K. and James Jackson. Who we talking with?
What's up, yo?
What's up, Mike? Is this Mike?
Yeah, it's Mike.
Mike, where you calling from, brother, again?
I'm calling from Boston.
Calling from Boston? Yeah, I know. So what's going on? What do you want to talk about?
All right, that bar scene that he was selling, right?
Yeah.
They show fucking excuse my language, Higgins getting all loud and everything. We know what that means. That means he wants attention. He wants someone to step in and break this up so he doesn't get his ass whooped.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a PC move, right, Mike?
Yep, PC move, Mike.
Exactly. Right. So I think that Karen didn't want to go there. And I think she was always under John's thumb, even though she was a strong woman and everything. And when he went there, I think maybe he just confronted him right as he walked in the door.
Indeed.
And it popped up there.
I believe that.
And they got the better of him. And all they had to do was call 911 and say, just come here. Because they would have just said, "Ah, man, it went too far. We fucked this dude up." And it never would have even made it onto the police log.
You're right. I said the same thing to James the other night, the same exact thing. I don't even know why they just didn't call the police and just say,
Right.
the fact that they set themselves up for this murder is insane.
Yeah. Exactly. And I know you guys like to make these calls short, but the lady that called in prior to me, I had actually thought that maybe Higgins was thinking that was John at one point, because he kept saying, "I'm trying to suss it out. I'm trying to suss it out."
Indeed, he could have. He probably definitely thought that at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's a fat slob. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
What for him? She felt scorn, and he was probably nice to her all the time because he was kissing her ass. And he planted that kiss on her. And she was like, "You know what?"
Well, she planted the kiss on him. Let's keep it 1,000.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's correct. No.
Well, here's the deal. What do you think about Mike? I don't know if I asked you this before. I think we might have had this conversation. But what do you think about her saying, "Hey, if you would have stayed that night, everybody fell asleep. If you would have stayed the night at the Pats game, things could have got." She said, "What did she say?" She said, "I'm 42 years old. Things could have went. We might have, might have did it." She told him that on the text. Now that's kind of fucked up, right? Like, she was basically saying you should have stayed over while everybody fell asleep and we could have messed around. That's nuts.
Yeah, you know what? I think that was her.
Mike, let me ask you this, Mikey. If that happened to you, what would you do to your girl? I mean, what would you say to her? What would your reaction be?
If you woke up and saw
I don't know. Shit. There'd be a lot of yelling first.
Talk to him, Mikey.
But yo, she could have been failing. I think, she was just like, feeling like she wasn't good enough for John at the time. So she got this slob who's gonna tell her, "Oh, you're beautiful, you're this and you're that, and I like you. I like from when I seen you," and that was gratification for her.
Exactly. She was checking her market value, and not only that, Higgins knew, man. He's an ATF agent, man. He knew that she was in a weakened state. He was 13 stepping, right, Mike?
Yeah, he was doing, and yeah, exactly.
Why don't you tell the people? Why don't you tell the people what 13 stepping is?
Geez, let's see, how do we put it?
Give him a parallel.
I'll put it nicely.
There you go.
He basically was trying to swerve on John.
Bingo.
Yeah. And
well, what it is the way I would break down 13 stepping would be that she was in a weakened state. The same way these girls are addicted to drugs, they're in a weakened state. Their egos messed up. They don't feel about themselves. Anybody could come in and give them flowers, give them a Kit Kat. You know what I mean? Could give them anything and just give them love, give them a hug. Yeah. And he knew that she was in that, that she was in that state of mind, and he moved in for the kill.
Yep, exactly. And that's what happened in the end.
Yep.
John got killed.
Yeah.
And she didn't want that to happen. Like you said, was trying to check her market value. Maybe she wanted John to see that kiss on the camera.
I mean, this is what women do, man. I'm not shocked for it. When women get mad, they pull stunts. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? The fact is, you would think that, I always compare it to there's two Karen Reeds, like there's two Tupacs. There was Tupac in 1991, and then there was Tupac in 96 when he was on death row. You got Karen Reed, 2 years ago, and then you got Karen Reed now. I'm sure she grown from this. She knows what it's like to have her freedom on the line. She knows that, you can mess around and, find out, but back then she was playing games and, and she kind of regressed a little bit. And then, like you said, it ended up to the worst possible scenario.
Yep. I think there was games being played on both sides between the both of them.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with that. But let me tell you this: do you think that Karen knew on the way to 34 Fairview? You think she knew what was going on? Do you think that
No.
you don't think at all she knew from the phone call when he was talking to Jen McCabe? Because keep in mind, John called Jen. Have you watched this whole stream so far?
I have. Yep.
So you seen the part when I talked about Jen McCabe, right? Jen McCabe John text Jen McCabe, what's the address? And then Jen McCabe took it amongst herself to call John back, and they talked for 44 seconds. Then he called her back, and they talked for 36 seconds. What were they talking about? John got muscle memory, right? He's a cop.
I lost you, man.
Can you hear me? Oh, let's see what happened. You there?
Yeah, I lost you for a minute. You left off at Jen McCabe.
Jen McCabe, right? She was in John texted Jen McCabe. Jen McCabe took it upon herself to call him back.
Yeah.
He just asked for the address. She called him. They talked for 44 seconds. Then she hung up and John called back for 36 seconds. They're claiming it was for directions. You sure John wasn't asking after what we've seen at 11:58? What was the deal with O'Keefe and especially Big Bad Brian A?
He wanted to know what was going on. He wanted to know what was going on with Higgins being a punk.
So wouldn't Karen hear that?
And I think she might have heard it. She didn't want him to go in. Right? And I think she got scared, right? Because she's not,
she's a geek.
She's a geek. Yeah, she ain't like us.
I know that, but here's the thing, my dude. Why didn't she say that from the start? If she would have said that from the start, wouldn't you think this would have helped? Or do you think she needs to say it now? Forget what happened. Do you think that she needs to come forward and say it now?
About that night?
Yeah, I mean, just to say that there was animosity, there was a fight. I mean, because she's playing into their hands. When she went on 2020 in July of 2023, he said that there was no fight. He went in the house and everything was okay. That played right into the prosecution's hands, as if everything was okay. She needs to say that everything wasn't okay, right? That's what I mean, shit, I would lie at this fucking point if it was me.
Yeah.
I play fire with fire.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to handle that. She was on the spot. You know what I mean? Usually I think that even like usually I think, in my opinion, she's usually in control of her life. You know what I mean? And with John, she was very vulnerable. And on that interview, she's not in control because they're gonna cut that up anyways. You know,
But she still didn't say. But she still didn't say it though. She could have just said when John got out the truck, he was mad and upset, and he was pissed off at Higgins because I was talking to Higgins. You know what I mean? She didn't have to go into great detail, and guess what? It would have just painted right for the third party culprit. She didn't say it though, and that played into the prosecution's hands. But Mike, I'm gonna end it on that note. I appreciate the phone call, my man, and we'll talk some more soon.
All right, take care.
Peace and love, my brother.
I'm gonna finish watching the stream anyways, bro.
All right, I appreciate you, bro.
Right. Peace. You too, brother.
Peace, man.
Take care, James.
All right.
All right, man. Thanks. Yeah.
Beth.
Hey, you're live with JFK and James. Who we talking with?
Hi, it's Beth.
Hey, Beth. Where you calling from, Beth?
Seattle, Washington.
Oh, Seattle. Who out there in Seattle?
Yeah.
Seattle. Yes. You need a lower. You need a lower. Your computer in the back.
Oh, are you on? You echoing?
Yes,
you were on speaker. Sorry.
Oh, okay. What you want to talk about? How you want to break this down? Go for it.
Yeah. So, firstly, Brian Higgins saying that he didn't talk about it with Brian Albert. He did admit to, or at least his supervisor told them that he was talking to her about it. So why would he talk to his female supervisor about texting Karen, but not Brian Albert?
Facts.
Like, that doesn't make sense.
Because he doesn't want to get caught up for a murder.
Right, exactly.
What
and then the second, oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, you guys are just talking about the phone calls between John and Jen, like right before, and how Karen hasn't talked about that. And I always thought that's a really good point. Like, why hasn't she talked about that? And I feel like it could be two different things. Like, the first thing could be there was maybe like a lot of drama in their relationship. And when he talked to Jen, like, he could have just been like, hey, is everything good over there? Like, he could have not been so upfront about it to where Karen would even, like, really get it. Because she didn't seem to get it in the bar.
Yeah, but keep in mind, though, back to what I said, Jen is the one who called him. Now, we know how J.F.K is. We've seen her on the stand. She 100% was running her yap. I mean, that's what I think. You know what I mean? And then you got this dude in the passenger on Bluetooth going, yeah, John, come on, yeah. Come on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you got.
Well, who, Matt
saying,
McCabe?
Yeah,
or?
Maddie was in the. Maddie was. Listen, Maddie M was on the backup. He was on the backup. He was feeling the vibrations. He was, come on, swing it. Come on, swing it. You know?
Yeah.
And you know, and Big Bad Brian A, he was hanging tough. He's hanging tough on that stand. He was hanging tough, taking them blows by Alan Jackson. Yeah. But you know, it's a crazy thing, you know.
Go, girl.
Go ahead, sing it, girl. Come on, sing it. We gotta hear that. We need 4 bars of that.
I don't know how it goes.
Just sing it, girl. We want to hear it. We gotta hear it. Yeah.
I can't. I'm just laughing.
That's okay, girl.
Don't go, girl. Oh, yeah. And then he's going to have sex with his wife at 2 a.m.
Nice.
He said, girl, I know we've been together for 30 years, but it's 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. on the dot. Yeah, it's going down.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. You don't think he was smashing that at 2 a.m., Beth?
No.
No?
That was not happening.
Wow.
No one believes that, and that's why it's such a slap in the face.
That's what we'll see. You know, back to the. Well, see, this is what I said on my last live, and I have a video coming out tomorrow. I'm going to put it up. It's like we got duckies, we got inverted video. Well, we got inverted videos, we got donuts, we got turtles, we got James Jackson, who his uncle is Alan Jackson. We got glares that wear B hats from Louisiana. We got calling all beings. We got all different characters. We got young jerks. We got better rolls. We got all different people that are covering this case, all different characters. And now we got the duckies, right? We got duckies. And it's been fuckery from the jump, because why not add the duckies to the top of you was making love with your girl? You know what I mean? Listening to Please Don't Go Girl at 2 a.m. and you didn't notice a phone call, or you didn't notice lights, and the donuts was coming, and and Chris A had to grab clothes because it's a ritual, and he didn't say goodbye to anybody, Higgins, and all these things that you guys didn't notice a body in a little driveway leaving. I mean, why not add the duckies to the mix? I mean, I'm not surprised. It's fuckery donuts. It just is what it is, And we try to entertain, and a lot of people take it, some people say, oh, you guys, are taking this and running with it for this reason and that reason. But at this point, you got to make it somewhat comical and make it entertaining, because it's all fuckery. But the truth is, we know what really happened.
Yeah. We know what really happened.
We do. We absolutely do. So where do you stand right now? What do you think is going to happen on November 6th when she goes in for the Supreme Court on the motion? You think, how do you think it's, she got a good chance of keeping dropping this murder case to manslaughter?
I hope so. The new attorney on it seems a little bit more like comfortable in that environment, and the judge seemed more comfortable with him. So, I mean, I hope so. I don't really expect it, just because of the way that they are. I think they're going to try to charge her on all 3 counts.
Well, that's gonna be a tough one though in that Supreme Court, because it's what it is. I'm gonna tell you, just from a law standpoint, is that at the end of the day, she's gonna have too much for. It's going to be, they had that emergency ruling of the appeal. That's an emergency type thing that's going on with her, like, because it was such a bad way the judge did it. She didn't explain like what they found her not guilty for. So it was like an emergency motion and they accepted it. But let's just say they did try it with the murder again. They just got way too much ammunition to get an appeal anyway. So it's just like, why go through all that trouble all over again? I think 100% that the Supreme Court is going to drop it down just to the manslaughter, and that's what we're going to be dealing with. And then it's going to be up to Hank Brennan, and it's going to be up to, like I said, the team of Yannetti and Alan Jackson, if they're going to bring her on the stand. Because at this point, I think that we all want to hear from Karen. I mean, I hate to put her in that pickle and say you have to say something, but I mean, maybe this would be a way to get the truth out, and this would be enough to make Hank Brennan say, okay, listen, we'll let her speak on the stand. If she does good, and I believe everything she says, I'll pull the plug and just, say we're not going further with this case. Because now we heard it from the horse's mouth, and it all coincides with the video, the this, the that. They pull the plug, and then now everybody's in limbo. And you know who's going to be running scared? It's going to be them. That's the only possible case scenario they can get creative and make this go away. Or Hank Brennan comes in and he just goes for her throat. And now she got a real issue. Because if Hank Brennan turns into Beetlejuice, the bad Beetlejuice, she's going to have some serious issues, because he's a beast.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's sad to think, But hey, we're here for it, and I appreciate your call. It's always fun when you call in, girl.
Thank you.
All right, we'll
Thank
talk.
you both.
All right, we'll talk soon. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Mike.
Who we got here? It's J.F.K, James Jackson. Yo, who's this? This is Mike?
Hey, how you guys?
Yo, Mike.
This is Mike from
Mike, you got my
919, brother.
Yo, you got my money, dude?
Yeah. You got I know you got my stash, bro.
You got my shit?
Hey. Yeah, man. Hey, first of all, James, I hope your ankle gets better, my brother.
Thank you.
And also, my heart goes out and prayers go out to the people down in Florida. Down at Fort Pierce, I heard that the bunch of mobile homes just got leveled. Bad stuff right there. Yeah. So go ahead, man. What do we got?
Well, have you been watching the stream? You tell me where you want to, we talked about a lot of stuff. We got the video in the bar. What do you feel about that? Do you feel that Maddie M was on the backup? What's going on?
Dude, unbelievable. You know what? I'd love to smack that mofo right in the face. You see the way he smirks when he was up on the stand there?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I'd just like to smack him. Yeah, I love the way you broke that tape down, bro. That was awesome, man.
Yeah.
You know how you pointed that out? Who was that woman?
Hey, Mike, do you
that
got
was next
Mike,
to John?
Mike, let me ask you a question. Do you drive an 87 IROC with T-tops?
Dude, 73 Z28.
Told you.
I got a 73 Z28, bro.
I told you.
4-speed.
I knew he got a second generation. I thought he was a third generation guy, but he's a second generation guy. See, I can tell a car guy.
Dude,
I can tell a car guy, man, just from the talk. Yeah, see, I got it. Nice, man. That's a nice ride right there. Wait a minute. So that's the 73 with the round lights, with the ones from like Chips, like Ponce and John.
Yeah, split rim bumper in the front too, yo.
Wow, bro. That's the beauty.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's the one.
I've had that car for 28 years, my man.
My man, don't get rid of that shit.
No. It's in the garage, all tucked away nice. Okay.
Go ahead, go for it.
Now, something I wanted to bring up. Back in the trial, have you ever watched The Truth Revealed?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever seen that on the channel? Did you see him break down Brian Higgins' testimony?
I did, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. He claims through the testimony that they never went to the funeral that morning. When they claim they went to the funeral, they never actually went to the funeral, according to The Truth Revealed. Also, during the trial, Brian Higgins says he got to Brian Albert's house first, and he did a sweep of the driveway. Number one, there was no snow on the ground; it just started.
No, there was no snow.
Right, and then remember when Brian Albert pulled up? There was some controversy with the time. The times weren't right for some reason.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Okay. Now, I'm going to switch the page a little bit here. Okay, the guy who does the baseball sign that was on the stand.
Chris Albert.
Yeah,
he lied about. Yeah, he lied about the times when he got home.
Yeah.
Because the timestamp said 12:13, but he said he had gotten home between 12:05 and 12:10 when Colin came home supposedly at 12:20 before John got there at 12:21. Correct?
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
They lied. And another thing I saw, a shout out to Micro Dodson. That guy, man, he is something else. He's spot on.
Yeah, he helped me out with my video and stuff. That was dope. He's a good dude.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff we could go over, but I love the entertainment you guys give me. Much love to both of you.
I appreciate
you all be safe. Let's say our prayers. Yeah, please, let's say our prayers to the people down in Florida who are going to be affected.
Absolutely.
And I am in North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Oh. He's still there, Jay? Can't hear him.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah,
No,
it's
all good, my brother. It's all good, man. We'll say a prayer together, my dude.
All right.
All right, I appreciate you, man. I'm going to say a prayer right now. Father God, we love you, Father God. We know your power, you know your strength. Keep blessing us, all my people in the chat, all the sick, the suffering, this crazy hurricane coming through. Let that go out to sea. Let it lose its momentum. Keep everybody safe. We love you, Father God. We don't say it enough. Father God, we know your power. Bless everybody and get us through this. Amen.
Amen.
Yes,
love you,
sir.
bro.
All right, man. Peace and love, my man.
Peace and love, Mike.
All right back at you. We'll be talking to you soon.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, man.
He's got a 73.
73 Z28.
73
Z. Yeah, James. You know, it's you know, it's great, man, reaching out to the people, talking to the people. We've been at it for 2 hours. You want to touch upon anything there, James?
No, I think we touched upon pretty much as we could for this episode, this live.
What was Big Bad Brian A? What was Big Bad Brian A doing? He was what?
Yeah. He was
After you went to bed, between the hours of 1:45 a.m. and 6:30 a.m.
Yes.
Who did you call?
I inadvertently called Brian Higgins.
You say you inadvertently called him at 2:22 in the morning.
Yes.
How did you inadvertently call him?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know
because it was inadvertent.
Isn't it true that at the other hearing you indicated that at or around the 2:22 time frame, you and your wife were in bed together in an intimate situation?
Yes, around that time.
You ruin
my whole world.
If you're in the chat right now, if you got love for us, I want everybody to throw up the peace sign or say peace, peace. I want y'all to hit the like on the way out. If you're looking to Cash App, throw any donations our way. Cash App JFK Show Off. Cash App James Amaral AMARAL Jr. It's in the description. It's right there in the description. If you're on the replay crew, we love you too. We love you too, replay crew. Talk to him, James.
Peace and love, replay crew. We love you.
All the people that threw some donations our way today. We had Katrina, we had Kelly, and we had Rose D. I appreciate that.
And you had the 5 gifts went out from, was that, you already say her?
Yeah, we already said that.
Rose D gifted 5 memberships.
Yeah, and you know that's a beautiful thing, and we appreciate that. And we know this guy, you know, he was lying the whole time. He wasn't up. Yeah, he wasn't up there with his wife. We know that. We know that's a bunch of bull. You know, we know that. We know he was straight lying. He was with his wife, and he thinks he's the 6th member of the New Kids on the Block.
Unless he was taking the Viagra, that's the only way I could see him.
Nasty.
Trip from New York.
What nasty work that was, huh? Man. He didn't notice none of that.
Nope. Those were disco lights. Those were the disco lights.
Yeah, man. And with that being said, I go by the name of JFK. I need everybody to go subscribe to James Jackson. James Jackson, subscribe to JFK if you're on the replay crew. We came, we saw. Oh, we got another $4.99 for Sheila. I love you both, and we love you, and we'll be back.
We love you,
too. Come over here. Come on, if you guys are watching the other influencers, that's great. But when you see us on, change the dial. Come over, check us out. You can watch both. You can channel surf. Come on in or watch us on the replay. It doesn't matter. Just make sure that you got us in the rotation. That's all that matters to us. You know, bet they sleep with their backs. Yeah. And, you know, we're from a place in Massachusetts, and, you know, how we do it. We'll take him out of here because this whole case was snake bit. And peace and love.
Peace and love. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten. Life keeps going by, please tell me why am I living? Poison in my mind, losing sight now with this blind vision. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten.
Call 911, officer down, don't make a sound. There's an officer in the house. All I can feel is my phone vibrate. Wish you was here, not sitting at my place. Who let the dogs out? Someone closed the gate. It's cold where the broken face, please, Lord, not today. Laying on this grass, I can hear the snakes. Wish you would've told me he was feeling the way. When he sent you that text, seen the fear in your face. Then he texted me too. Coming here, then you drove away.
I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten. Life keeps going by, please tell me why am I living? Poison in my mind, losing sight now with this blind vision. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've been snake bitten.
And no matter where I go, I feel
Baby,
right
I'm
at
home, I'm home, I'm home.
Come on. Rainy days, rainy nights when the pain hit. Mental health fragile. Don't let your brain flip. Had a child with your lady. Never claimed it. She takes care of your son, huh? That's some lame shit. Hold on to dreams. Don't let others see. They say they're sober. They fake recovery. I always reach out. Can't see my brother bleed, but he don't wanna listen. Rather run the streets. Chasing fame, such an entrepreneur. You ain't got that man's money. What you flaunting for? Nothing to call your own. Now you wanting more. Now you in group chats talking noise with your boys. Went from sipping Heineken, sipping on Stella. From boosting with the fellas, merchandise reselling. From a solid crew, now his man is telling. Having Fetty babies from the shit they sell. Home is where the heart is. Every day I'm in the zone. And no matter where I roam, I'm feeling right at home. I don't know my city, nothing. I take care of my own. And I rep my city everywhere that I go. Home is where the heart is. Every day I'm in the zone. And no matter where I roam, I'm feeling right at home. I don't know my city, nothing. I take care of my own. And I rep my city everywhere that I go. Come on. Driving in the whip, light drip with the rain guards. Can't believe the same shit, yo. We came far, grew up on the same street, cut the same cars, call a spade a spade. We was made stars. DYS, home on the bed crunch. Walkman, super bass, make your head bust. Damn low sweater, 96 North Face, embrace cold weather. And prison is the thing that brings us together. And this is the place that we run back to. Rep our city, verbally attack you. Chaos, negativity, what we attract to. Home is where the heart is, and I don't have to. Home is where the heart is. Every day I'm in the zone. And no matter where I roam, I'm feeling right at home. I don't know my city, nothing. I take care of my own. You don't owe anybody anything. You owe it to yourself and your family. Protect your growth. Welcome home.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
What are your qualifications?
Kids pick me. You didn't have to, but you picked me. Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. What do you think? You think I'm qualified?
Well, you know, we expect our criminals to commit crimes. That's what criminals do. We don't expect that from our law enforcement.